Hey yo guys, what's up and welcome back to Toe Tags Metal Reviews. Today we're checking out new releases from ATRÆ, Bliss, Blood Red Throne, and Trivium. Alright, so new format to our videos here. We're going to talk about a few different albums. Guess I'm going to get ATRÆ Bliss out of the way first because that's probably the one you guys are going, who the hell are they? I didn't know who they were either, but I found out they released an album today. They're Canadian death metal, so I checked it out and it was pretty good. They kind of just have it's pretty typical. Their sound's pretty typical, maybe a little bit on the technical side, which is pretty cool. Some good guitaring and things like that. Some highlight tracks: Bacterium, A Bloom, To Entomb the Aetherwood, and Hymn of the Flies, which was a song that kind of stood out to me. Had this really cool vocal effect at the end that kind of made the singer sound like he was an insect or something, and like it was really cool. I've never really heard something like that before, so that kind of stood out. But yeah, pretty cool band. I'll probably check out more of them. I think they have one other album that came out previously to this one. But yeah, pretty cool. ATRÆ BILIS. I'm not even sure if I'm even saying that correctly. Apex Sapien is the name of the album, which is another weird word.
Pretty cool sounding name though.
Pretty cool sounding name, yeah. So, yeah, as far as new releases go, that was kind of what I kicked off the day with, and I was like, you know what? So far, so good.
Yeah, for reference, I didn't get a chance to listen to that album specifically. I didn't know about it actually until not long before we started recording today. So, any perspective is all from you. However, the other two albums I did get a chance to look at, and Imperial Congregation by Blood Red Throne. I didn't get a chance to finish, but I listened to a good chunk of it, and it's pretty damn good. Now, at first when I put the record on, I was thinking, okay, this is kind of like, you know, some typical, I guess, modern death metal. And then the second song started, and my mind was blown. It, you know, it just comes out of nowhere with this, like, almost nu metal sounding intro. I'm thinking, what the fuck is going on here? And generally, I've been kind of thinking this kind of feels like modern Cannibal Corpse, but more. Like,
yeah,
you take
more riff heavy.
Yeah, you take what you know from the modern era of Cannibal Corpse and just up the riffs and just kind of just advance everything. Standout tracks for me, Ithaca, which is the second track, Inferior Elegance, and 6-7, which you put on for me. I remember I didn't get to it at that point, and you put it on for me, and I
yeah. So track number 7 is called 6-7, like 6:7. Which is really odd that they made it like that. But the song's just heavy as fuck. It's super fucking just headbang worthy.
The scream that starts that song lasts for like 5 years.
It's a 6 scream. Look, this whole album kind of blew me away. I was not expecting to be as impressed as I was with Imperial Congregation. It's just the vocal screams, overall vocals are cool, but the guitar riffs, man, riffs for days. I was impressed. Conquered Malevolence is a standout track. Transparent Existence, 6-7 he already mentioned, and Consumed Illusion, which I think comes right after 6-7, is also amazing. It's got this cool intro with this blast beat, then it goes to this cool riff, then the blast beat, then this cool riff, and they go back and forth, kind of like a call and answer thing. I fucking love it. It's so sick, so badass. I can't wait to listen to this album more.
Yeah, it really caught us both by surprise.
Exactly.
And 6-7, honestly, to me, kind of sounds like if Cradle of Filth was a death metal band, you get that song, pretty much.
Yeah, it definitely has elements in there, man. It's just, I don't know, it's fucking awesome. You guys definitely got to check out Blood Red Throne, Imperial Congregation. But, Trivium, In the Court of the Dragon. It's what everybody wants to talk about. Everybody's saying, we want to hear about Trivium. So, what do you think?
I think it's really good. Now, what I wanted from this album, and I said this back when we heard the title track, way back when they dropped the video for, is I wanted this album, based on what I heard from that song, I wanted to see the album go in the direction of being a little bit more compositionally like classic old school, I'm talking like Shogun era Trivium, with the modern musicality and era, the Alex Bent era of this band. That's what I wanted. Did I get what I wanted? I'd say so. I think this album is very cohesive with itself and is a lot more aggressive than the last two. A lot more direct, in your face, and angry sounding with its riffs. And honestly, just based on the few times I've listened to it so far, I do think the cohesiveness is a bit stronger than what the Dead Men Say. Because even though that album was great, it got 2 toe tags from us, I felt that what the Dead Men Say, kind of looking back, it lacks a little bit of cohesiveness between the songs. All the songs are great, but they don't really fit together very well. They kind of feel like, very different from each other, maybe a little bit too much to a degree. But with this album, a lot of the songs feel like they really belong together.
That's really interesting. So, for me, Sin in the Sentence and Dead Man were both basically home runs when I first listened to them. Like, these are phenomenal albums. I love them right off the bat. This one, though, I've got about 2.5, 3 listens in of this album so far today, and it didn't quite hit me that way. I still liked it. It still has bomb moments, great vocal performance. The solos on this album are fucking awesome. I'll talk about a little bit about them in a minute. But overall, I felt like that this album kind of started sounding a lot more like common metalcore because of how kind of formulated the songs are, where they're, you've got almost, the heavy, fast verses and intros and outros and grooves and stuff like that, and they always kind of go back to the clean vocal chorus, which is something that, Trivium does, it's not new, but I felt like it was very formulated on this album. Not a bad thing, but it's not the kind of Trivium that I particularly like to hear. So it's something I'm going to have to get used to a bit. Maybe it'll grow on me a bit. Maybe it'll start annoying me. I don't know. But there were some cool highlights on this album. So I'll talk about some highlight tracks, and you can take over and talk about your highlight tracks. From Dawn to Decadence, there's something special about the way the solo kicks in. Again, I can't verbally explain to you what it sounds like, but it's fucking cool. Something with the guitar. So Dawn of Decadence, highlight track just for that reason. A Crisis of Revelation. Again, the solos, bizarrely awesome. Just kind of some out of this world. Both the guitars and bass are going at it, and then it ends with this really nice drum fill. I like that. The Shadow of the
Abattoir.
Abattoir or Abitron? Abitron. I don't know. I can't fucking read or pronounce things. Is it an R at the end? I thought it was an N.
It's Abattoir.
Abattoir?
If you hear the song, he says that.
No, I didn't. I couldn't.
That's what that word is.
Okay, I didn't catch that. But anyways, more wild solos. The song gets pretty heavy near the end, and Matt is hitting some pretty decent high notes at the end.
I love that how he sounds in the ending of that song.
It's different. It's like where's this Matt coming from? It's like I like that. I like that freshness. Fall Into Your Hands, another nice solo. And the last song I want to talk about is No Way Back, Just Through, because, and we talked about this prior, we kind of agree but also kind of disagree. For some reason, I feel like he sounds so much like Corey Taylor in this song, and I don't know why, I don't know what it is, but I'm listening to it and I can visualize Corey being the vocalist on this song, and it makes perfect sense to my ears.
I can kind of hear it and kind of see what you're talking about, but it still sounds like Matt Heafy to me.
It does sound like Matt, but it sounds like Matt sounding like Corey. I don't know.
As far as I'm concerned with standout tracks, the title track is a ridiculous song. Just the energy, the power, the way that it kicks off after the intro track called X. Love it. Even though I don't think X really set up hype super well until the very end. Like, once it really kicked in with the title track, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, we're good.
Yeah.
Like a Sword Over Damocles, the bridge onward of that song is madness. It just goes crazy, and you're thinking, like, what the hell is going on? Like, everything goes nuts. Feast of Fire was really good. I like that one a lot. That was another single. Shadow of the Abattoir, like that too. No Way Back, Just Through was really good. I'm interested, though, what do you think of The Phalanx, which is the last song? Because I know they made a video for the song. We didn't react to it.
We listened to it.
But we did listen to it. I know you really didn't like it, and I at the time thought it was okay. But like, after hearing it in context of the album being the last song, what do you think?
Much better. Much better. When you get the whole album in your ears and you kind of got that feel and that flow going, songs like this, you get a different perspective on it. The riffing really is a standout part of the song. I remembered listening to it before and remembered my feeling before, which was kind of meh, and listening to it now going, you know what was I thinking before? Because this actually is a bit of a banger. Yeah,
that song, I remember when it first came out and we listened to it, I'm like, but I knew that it was the last track. Like, I knew the track list. I knew that it was the last track, so I thought to myself, okay, I think this might be a really good album closer, but we'll have to see. And now that I've listened to the album, now that it's released, I do think it is a very good album closer, and it's the best place to put the song, because it does kind of feel like it drags, kind of. However, it works for being the album closer. Like, it's the perfect spot for that song. No other place on the album is better than the ending for the Phalanx.
Yeah, so yeah, we listened to a bunch of new releases today, and we're picking In the Court of the Dragon to be our album to review throughout the week. So we're going to listen to it as much as we possibly can, and don't think this is our review, guys, because we got a lot more to say about it next week after we listen to it 1,000,001 times. So that's it for this video, guys. So be sure to like the video if you liked it. Comment down below and let us know what you guys listened to today. If you guys check these albums out, let us know what you guys think. And yeah, that's it for this video. So subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. I'm Vile Self.
I'm TV Fish.
We'll see you guys on the next one. Keep those heads banging.